is our first night for the open forum. This is our new show. I am your host and I have 4 co-hosts. And unfortunately, Charlotte Evans is one of our co-hosts and I think she's having problem with the connection today because we did have some problems with the T-Mobile connection. Apparently, there was an outage. But I have my co-host tonight. I have Ceasar's Elpidio, I have Dolly De Leon, and I have Victoria Tambunting. This is open forum. Everybody can call in. Everybody can share the problem with us or news or what have you. But this show will be every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. The same station, BHLV Radio. I will introduce to you my co-host Ceasar Elpidio. I have Dolly De Leon and I have Vicky Tambunting. Ceasar, go ahead and say hi to our listeners.
Hello, Las Vegas and the world. Kumusta ba kayo lahat? Yeah, I'm Ceasar Elpidio, and I'm proud to, and I'm honored to be part of Josie's co-host for this program, The Forum. I'm a retired naval officer, 23 years, and I currently own my business as Ceasar Elpidio Insurance Agency, and I specialize in Medicare, life insurance, and senior health products. So, also, I'm a transplant from California. After 36 years of work in California, I moved to Las Vegas. So I've been here since 2000. Yes, 2000. And I've been part of the Las Vegas community as a community servant. I've been with the Lions, and I guess one of my proudest community service is the work that we did with then Congressman Heck and Senator Heller when we were working on the legislation to help the 24,000 World War II Filipinos and Filipino Americans.
Yes.
So I'm here with Josie, hoping we could educate or bring you some news about Las Vegas and what's going on around here. So thank you, Josie, for inviting me.
Thank you so much. And now, Miss Dolly De Leon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dolly De Leon. I am a resident of Las Vegas for over 40 years now. I was a teacher by education. Las Vegas had only less than 300,000 people when I first moved here. I landed a job as a family court home counselor. It was a job where I was a caseworker, a social worker, and a court counsel representing families who couldn't afford lawyers. Very rewarding job. No, I was not a lawyer, but we were practicing law in family court. I was also appointed by my pastor at the Golden Harvest International Church, Bishop Don Velasco, as a family court, as a community outreach leader. I was the editor for Asian American Monthly, the American Times, and the Asian Chronicle for 20 years. I was elected president of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce in the 90s and also the elected vice president of the largest Asian American organization in the entire Nevada, which is the Asian American Group. I lectured in Clark County schools, including the Community College and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Presently, I have a formal wear clothing business, and I'm a licensed marriage officiant. So if you want to get married, come to the wedding destination of the world.
Vicky, you'll be the first customer, Vicky.
Call me anytime, and will you get you married?
Thank you so much, Dolly. And Dolly, we've been friends for what? 30, 35 years?
Yes, we go back.
Oh my gosh, I was working as a manager at the American Federal Savings Bank at Maryland Parkway.
When I first met you.
Yeah, and you own that bridal shop at Sahara. Is that Sahara?
Yes, Sahara and Karen.
Yeah, and I work for you. And I work for you as one of your sales girl, remember?
Wow, thank you. Maybe you're just helping me.
Yeah, I help you though. I help you, and it was fun. I learned how to, work on bridal shop, and the things that's involved in, setting up or organizing a wedding. Thank you so much for joining me, Dolly. Now I would like to introduce Vicky Tambunting.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Las Vegas. As you can see, we're still social distancing. All
Yes.
right, that's why we're all in our homes. Anyway, so my name is Victoria Tambunting, and I'm probably the youngest in Vegas because
Oh,
I moved here.
okay.
I moved youngest in Vegas because I moved here in 2011, towards the end of
Oh,
2011.
I
So
see.
most of my achievements and education and training happened in the Philippines. So I graduated from the University of the Philippines. I took up marketing. That was in the 80s. And then after that, in 1993, I became a lawyer. I graduated from the Ateneo de Manila University. Okay, Ateneo School of Law. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Wow.
I have been practicing law for the last 25 years. Oh my
Wow.
goodness. That's a long time. But I'm not licensed in Las Vegas, so I cannot give you legal advice, but I
Yeah,
can give you practical advice with all my experience.
that's
And
good.
then because I have varied interests, I graduated also from practical nursing, Philippines. I had 5 gold medals, and it was so exciting.
Wow.
Wow.
And then I also finished because I decided maybe I don't want to touch blood anymore when I go to Vegas if I have to work. So what I did was I studied culinary, okay, from the Center of Asian Culinary Studies owned by the Gonzaleses. Okay, so my interests are really varied. I even studied how to cut hair because, for me to be able to talk about it, do nails,
The
I did
haircut, Vicky.
everything. So now in Las Vegas, what I do is I'm an events photographer. So I go to all these parties and then charity. For me, I really like women helping women and children, doing charity work. I go to the LGBTQ community. But
Okay.
my favorite project really that really touched my heart that I have been doing was the McDonald Charity House feeding
Yes.
the parents of the children who are sick. So what
Exactly.
we do is we cook dinner for them, and we don't just order pizza or spaghetti or anything. We try to cook, like Filipino inspired food that they will like, and maybe Chinese food because I'm Asian. So
Yeah.
we all do these kinds of foods, and they are so appreciative. And it really touches my heart when you're able to serve. So I'm happy that Josie invited me to be one of the co-hosts here. I'm really privileged. And I just wanted to tell you a secret.
What
My
is
friends in the Philippines, Josie is the mom of Jokoy. So she's the one he's talking about. If you see her, you know what he means. He's also
The
her
famous
older
Jokoy.
estudiante.
famous?
All right, so I'm looking forward to seeing you every Monday. Okay,
Okay.
invite your friends. Okay, Josie, take it away.
Good. And you know what? I'm so proud of all of you listening to all your accomplishment. It comes from here. I'm so proud of each one of you. We have been in Las Vegas. We have been a community leader. And I know each one of us are really looking after the Filipinos. Like you, Cesar, how you really want to champion about helping all those veterans to get the benefits that they deserve. I really, really admire that. And we have been with Lions, and Lions is for the blind of the universe. Each one of us have that love and kindness in our heart to help people. And Dolly, you have been there. You are a minister. We are all jack of all trade, really. If you think about that, we are all jack of all trade. But the main thing, the main course of what we're doing is helping people. We are truly the humanitarian person in this state in Nevada. We are known to be a humanitarian person.
Amen to that, Josie.
Amen to that.
Amen. Yeah.
And then we're not supposed to be scared anymore, because remember how we were thinking about, oh, we better be careful and this and that because of this open forum. But now we have not a lawyer, not a practicing lawyer, but at least we can get some practical advices, which is good, very practical to the occasion when we needed it. And thank you so much for your presence. And we have a dog barking at the backyard. So,
He wants to be introduced.
okay. So now we'll go ahead and listen to Caesar's news we would like to share to all the Nevadans.
Okay. Before I start mine, I just saw a Facebook comment from Ruel. He said, "Are you singing later, Caesar? Maybe after the show." Yeah. Thank you, Ruel, for watching our show. Thank you. All right. So, what I'd like to talk about is the results, some of the results of the primary that we just concluded June 9th.
Okay.
We waited for a week because there will be additional ballots that are going to be coming through the mail. So the one that I have is as of today. They're not official yet because they're still trickling in. And it's interesting to note that the active registered voters in Nevada is 1,131,205.
Wow.
And we have a great turnout. That's about 21%, 243,611 mailed in their ballots. Okay, so about, we really had a great turnout, 21.54 as compared to, I think about 20% last year. And the ones that I'm really, really interested in would be the House of Representatives. It looks like all the Democratic incumbents, Dina Titus for District 1, District 2, Amadei in the north,
Okay.
District 3, Susie Lee, and District 4, Horsford, were able to kind of hold on to their primary seats.
Okay.
So as far as the Republicans, one of our friends, we were hoping that he would make it for District 4 is Sam Peters, who's also a veteran. Undoubtedly, he didn't make that one. And also, let's see. I think that's the one that we were really, really interested in. And for the judicial primary, District 8, Department 15, Joe Hardy, who's the incumbent, retained his position there for the
Ceasar?
November.
Caesar, may I interrupt about Joe Hardy?
Mhm.
The Asians love Joe Hardy because he has always been supportive, and he's always there for us. That's why I wasn't surprised when he won.
Yeah, yes,
Filipinos love him.
yeah. And we went around with is that 6 years ago? Was that every 6 years, right? So yes, he did. And Bill Kephart, of course, is a favorite. He's incumbent. Ron Israel
Yay,
managed
good.
to stay. And Sonny Bailey is the newcomer. So
Yay,
she made
good.
it 41.55%. And we had now the tie as of right now is for Department U, Family Division Department U, and that's between Don Throne and Bill Gonzalez. Bill Gonzalez came back and looks like they have a almost even split, 37.84 and 37.83. So I guess next week, as more ballots come in, we will find out who's going to win. But this is very, very close. Razor thin.
I think, Caesar, the counting of the ballots is not going to be, I think it's good until Friday, the 19th, right?
Yeah.
The 19th,
Another
yes.
week,
Right.
we'll probably get to see who's going to win. Yes.
Right. So anything that will be coming in, it's still going to be counted. And
Yeah.
that can be
I guess the other thing that we're really interested in is Uh, oh, as far as the Rodimer and Schwartz, that was a very interesting race, primary race, and looks like we had Rodimer who won the primary. Okay, and let's see what the other thing that I have is some news around town. Like I just got a oh, somebody just told me that there's a nationwide. That's the reason why we're having problems with our internet. I mean, our cell.
Yes.
Yes, it's a nationwide.
Yeah, I know. That's a nationwide.
Yeah.
That's an outage, and it was,
That's
affecting.
right. Not only T-Mobile, but also the other services.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Now, the other one I have is, and then before we start talking about the primary, some miscellaneous. When I'm glad that they're reopening the reimagined buffet on June 18 because that was a fantastic buffet. So maybe we could guys meet there one time. And the other good thing that I saw is that Allegiant Stadium is looking for 4,500 jobs.
Wow.
Openings. They have 4,500 job openings. So that would be good for Las Vegas.
But Caesar's on the jobs that are opening like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too happy to hear that they went ahead and fired all the employees and because they want to hire new ones.
Yeah.
For me, that's so unfair, for them
Yes.
to let go of those people that has established their seniority and then they just want to hire people so that they can pay them less pay. I think that's kind of unfair for those people who has been there for maybe 15
Mhm.
years, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? This pandemic really have affected just about everybody. And
Yes.
It is a life changing.
Yeah. But
The,
thank you, sir. Oh, go ahead.
The good thing about what's going on too is that I think this pandemic has made us realize that the old normal is not the new normal anymore. So we have to transition. I think a lot of employees have learned to transition into something different.
Yes.
Especially if you're a buffet worker, you may have to find something else or go to school.
Exactly.
And so I think it's changing lives, hopefully for the better. A lot of policy changes we're seeing based on the protest about the death of Mr. Floyd. And so times they are changing. It's like what Bob Dylan's song, times really are changing. All right, so I'd like to open up any discussion on some of our friends who made it or who didn't make it. I know we talked about the 3 Filipinos that we were hoping would also make it in the judicial primary, like Cesar Almase, Rika Andrade, and Miss
Excellent.
Yeah. And I think the discussion I'd like to start on that is I think for the Filipinos with non-American surnames, I think we're still having some difficulty entering the mainstream. So, in fact, we were joking about some of our Filipino friends that maybe they need to change their last name to something like that sounds like Washington, Smith, or to make it. But
Something.
Caesar, the
Yeah,
campaign strategy there, somebody told me was
Mhm.
if your last name is not like American sounding,
Mhm.
don't put your picture.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. Don't put your picture. But of course, others would like their pictures there. But seriously, it affects the voters also.
Yes.
And
Like
also,
you said, if your last
and
name is
also,
not
I've heard
American
that,
sounding,
or it's been proven that if your name is the alphabetical, like if you're A, B, or C, you have 5% ahead of the other candidates. If your opponent is Z, there is no right away you lose 5%.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that we need to maybe advise our candidates in the future is to look at the possibility of changing their names.
Oh,
Like
think
if your name is
Devastating.
Salagupang, let's go Beetle. You know.
Well, Filipinos share, they have Hispanic names.
Yes.
So I think if you're Filipino, you're running, for any office and you have a Hispanic name, I think you're way ahead than some of the candidates because you get the Hispanic
The
votes, the
Hispanic
Filipino
votes. Yeah.
votes.
Now we're assuming, of course, that they're going to vote.
only if they made an error. But if not, if they know their candidate, then they know who to vote.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's go on with Dolly, please.
Yeah.
Your news
Dolly.
that you want to share with us.
Thank you. Well, first of all, Josie, thank you so much. And also to our producer, Mr. Johan, for making me a part of this forum. Today is our debut, and I'm about to share with you what's trending in American politics, and which can also affect global politics that I prepared to share with you today. Since we come to you once a week, I will capsulize the report from Monday to Monday. Now, coronavirus has in no way faded in the scene in the US and around the world. At least at the moment, there are 42,000 cruise ship workers who are still trapped at sea. 42,000 workers.
Wow.
This was according to Dr. Mark Siegel, a medical contributor from the news, Fox News. Coronavirus is likely to last for, according to him, for 2 years. And that's what the report says. The recommended steps to limit the spread of virus include contact tracing. They're talking about it today in some news about contact tracer.
Mhm.
And I also found out that in New York, you're not supposed to ask anybody if you attended a protest. Yet, that is the number one recommended step, contact tracing. But New York says, no, you cannot ask anybody if that person attended the riots or the looting or the protests. Second recommended step is increased testing. Of course, the usage of masks and the continued social distancing as reported by Reuters. The Europe database indicates ending lockdowns do not seem to make difference in COVID-19 spread. In New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, each of these states saw its number of the coronavirus case increase by 40% last week,
Mm.
including Texas, Arkansas, South Carolina, Nevada, our state of Nevada, North Carolina, Oregon, and Florida. 40%. That's a lot. All set new highs last Wednesday based on 7-day rolling case averages as reported by another news agency, which is the Washington Post. The high case load could be related to an increase in businesses and those states reopening, as well as nationwide protests following the death of George Floyd, which has seen people in crowded places within very close distances. You know, the George Floyd event led to riots and looting and very big crowds.
Yes.
And speaking of the event surrounding the former bouncer George Floyd's death, Derek Chauvin, who is the officer from Minnesota, is now charged with second-degree murder. From third, it was down to second degree. But a lot of people are still challenging it because they wanted it to be first-degree murder. Along with Officer Chauvin are also four Minnesota officers who are now out of work, who are also in jail, and also awaiting for their trial. Now, this felony conviction could stand from 4 years to life imprisonment. It's very sad, really sad. Incidentally and unfortunately, while George Floyd rallies are taking place across the United States and other parts in Europe and even in Asia, now last Friday and into the entire weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, Rayshard Brooks, an Atlanta African American man, was shot by police after Wendy's personnel called police and found Brooks asleep in his car and blocking the drive-in. So that is, it's very unfortunate. Right after the George Floyd, followed by another murder that happened, or I should say, unfortunate event that an African American was killed. The color of the skin has nothing to do with the issue that's happening now in Atlanta, Georgia. So I believe that it is another African American that had killed, Rayshard Brooks. While many cities and states in America and around the world are still struggling with reopening or not reopening, brought by months of closure or lockdowns due to coronavirus, political leaders, elected officials in Washington, D.C. are heated up in racing and preparing for the November election. Different news organizations are conducting polls that could result in many, what they call the most important election of the century, the November presidential election. Now, the Fox News poll, it shows that President Trump is very tough on economy and people trust him to be the only one who could bring back the country and the world into a robust and healthy economy, as he started to do in the first 3 years in office. Now, the Democrat Party, or the Democrats, stick to their narrative. Coronavirus is the issue, and the killing of George Floyd in Minnesota, and recently in the weekend, the killing of Brooks, which had happened in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, the Wendy restaurant, the building was burned down. It was burned down by rioters. And that is, really, really very sad what's happening there. Now, the riots and protests, as Washington, D.C. continue to debate the issue of defunding or not defunding the police departments across the nation. Of course, President Trump, along with Republican leaders, are pretty much in disagreement with many Democrats who are for defunding and or not funding the police departments. So I'd like to open a discussion among us about the funding, the police department as being brought up by the Democrat Party. My take, police, they are very, very important people. Without them, what's going to happen? Look at all the rioting and the looting.
Mhm.
Police are our guardians.
Yeah.
They safeguard us. They're very important. So my take is, why even entertain it? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in President Trump's watch. Thank you.
I agree with you. I think what we need is not the defunding, but I think redirecting policy changes to maybe the hiring and training of police officers. Because I know, just like what you mentioned, the Brooks this weekend, we just had the Floyd incident, and now all of a sudden we have the killing of Mr. Brooks. And so people across the nation are seeing what's happening, but still it continues to happen. So it just so happens that the African Americans are the ones who are the victims in these cases. And and then I'd like to talk a little bit about your first topic, also about those stranded in the seas. What, over 40,000 people still stranded?
42.
42. And my understanding, because I took some cruises, several cruises, and many of those are Filipinos.
Yes.
And
I
so,
will assume there are
yeah,
lots of Filipinos.
a
Yes.
lot of Filipinos in those cruise ships. And so I would say maybe even 20%, as high as 20% of that would probably be Filipinos or higher. So I was just wondering what
I
the,
agree.
what the government, or is it the Philippine government, or who's taking care of those folks?
Where
Well,
are they based? Dolly, where are they stranded right now?
you know what? That is something that I have not researched, but I know that the news agency that I was working on what just says that they were stranded in the sea. By the way, this is very, very important that I would like to add that I missed in sharing with you. It's what is happening in Seattle. In Seattle, there is what we call CHAZ, CHAZ, and that is Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, CHAZ. And today, I was reading that the so-called the ruffians, the so-called people who appointed themselves leaders of their group had changed CHAZ to CHOP, CHOP. If I remember correctly, it means Capitol Hill Official Police or something. No, I know it stands for protest. So Seattle is really in big trouble if the mayor and the governor continue to condone what is going on here. Of course, White House not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
They're not going to let that happen. This is the ultimate. These are anarchists. The anarchists are taking over.
You know what? It is really the mayor and the governor's part right now, because the president cannot just go there and say, hey, do this and whatnot. He can probably, but I think the orders and the changes has to come with their local leaders first, their mayor and their governors. And you asked us if we can join in and explaining how we feel and what we think about the defunding of the police department. For me, we really need, especially nowadays, what's going on. They're just hitting, killing people, burning properties and whatnot. This is not the time to reassign or re-elect or reorganize or what have you. Maybe like what Ceasar said, we can look at the way the policy is going on and the regulations or what have you. Maybe we can change that, but not to defund it. I don't agree with that.
Dismantling the police department would be a disastrous thing that our government can do.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and table that. Maybe we can discuss about that later on if we have enough time, but we would like to give Vicky her time to share with us her news for today. Thank you, Dolly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you ready now, Vicky?
Sorry, guys. I have technical difficulty here.
Oh, boy.
I know, but it's probably what, T-Mobile problem? I don't know.
All the services, from what I heard.
Yeah. So the service is off.
But you know, we can hear you. So go ahead and share with us your news.
Well, actually, the last weekend, what happened was the Philippine independence. Let's not forget that. Even if we're in the United States, all the Filipinos here celebrated. Filipinos celebrated here. So we are not forgetting our roots. Anyway,
June 12th.
I want to give a shout out to Ruel Rodriguez for spearheading the parade. So thank you, Ruel, for continuing to be proud of our
Happy
culture.
Independence Day to all the Filipinos. We love you and we miss you. So anyway, that's one. The other news I have is about Mindy Lloyd. You know Mindy Lloyd, right?
Yes.
So she had a fundraiser for the police officer, Shay Micheloni's. Yeah, so because I don't know, it doesn't look really good. But a lot of people are chipping in, trying to help him, support him, and prayers will do a lot. We hope he gets better. So anyway, that's one. Finally, on Sunday, I'm excited because it's gonna be Father's Day.
Yeah.
I like it, but then even if like I'm an orphan, so we pray for our dad, and I kind of miss him. Ooh. So my mom too. So we can't celebrate for them. So what I do is I just pray for them, and then think about all the good times we shared, and just be grateful that I had them even for a while. How about
Yes.
you guys?
I didn't grow up with a father figure because my mother and father had such a rough time. You know what I'm saying? And it is in front of us, in front of our eyes, how my father was kind of mistreating my mother. And like I said, I didn't have a man figure or a father's figure in my life. That's why I'm so close to men, in a way that I'm trying to seek affection, and not in a different way. If you think about it, I love to touch people.
No,
Yeah,
I won't think about you, sure.
I love to touch people. I want to hug, people. And when I see a man, a figure, a father figure that I think is doing great for his family, I really admire them. Like with Caesar. Caesar, you are really a good father to your family.
Thank you, Josie.
You
I
are.
owe you a dinner for that.
You owe me.
Bring
We'll
us,
tag
bring
along.
us.
We'll tag along.
How about you, Dolly?
How
What
about
do you
you,
have to
Dolly?
share?
How about you, Dolly? Do you have a father?
Um, he had passed away many
Oh,
years ago, but my dad played a very, very important role in my life, and I was very proud of him. I learned a lot from him. I didn't have a mom. I mean, I had a mom, but I lost my mother, and I didn't even know how she looked like and all that. So my father was my mom and my dad at the same time. And I had written I had posted a few things about him, about my dad. He was, like Victoria, he went to University of the Philippines. He graduated from the University of the Philippines College of Fine Arts under Amor Solo.
Wow.
But he became famous inventor industrialist in the Philippines, awarded by President Marcos.
Wow. Wow.
Vicky, can you hear us now?
Is it me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Oh, because I want to say, because I asked Dolly if she has a father, but she just told us that you were an orphan, and I just
Yeah.
want to ask a question about that. If you can hear me, you grew up in where did you grow up? Then did you stay in a, how do you call that in the Philippines? Do they have an orphanage there or something? Or
Oh
did you grow up
no.
with your family?
No, I grew up with my parents until 2000. Yeah, 2002 or something. 2005 until 2005, and then my mother passed in 1993. She was ahead, and then my father he passed in 2005. I
I
don't even remember. Anyway, we had good times. My father made me see life in a happier way because he was like happy go lucky. We always had fun with him. He never disciplined us. It was my mom who was a disciplinarian. So when I think of him, I think of him fondly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I have problems now, I'm thinking, Ma, Pa, what will I do? If, even if I'm this age, I miss my parents. So you guys who still have your parents, you're lucky. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is you guys should appreciate them while they are still there. Tell
Yeah.
them you love them. If they want
Amen.
something, He wants a bag. Oh, she wants a bag. Mom wants a bag. Dad wants something else. Give it to them. It's just things, you know.
Amen to that.
Come on, buy it.
Yeah, Vicky, thank you for that. I
So,
hope my children
yeah,
are
Caesar.
listening to you. So, so when I give them my wish list, they'll just say, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Like Josie, she always has Louis Vuitton bags from Jokoy.
That's right. Yeah.
I love that.
You know what?
What's inside?
I want to share with you about my father. My mother and my father, they were separated when when we were in the Philippines. And what I vividly remember about my father is that he always wanted to call himself a mining prospector. He always want to look for gold, and so I remember that. And then when he goes in provinces and he come back, he always have like a snake, an eagle, a monkey, or whatever. He always bring different animals. And and then I remember I asked my mother, I said, Mom, what are we gonna do with the snake? My mother said, we'll wait when we don't have food anymore, we'll cook it for him. But that's an exciting thing about my father. But
Yeah.
he's a good dresser. I think we got it from him. He's always clean cut, and he has manicure, some of those bohemian mga Filipino, but oh my goodness, he speaks good English. And when he talks to us, we always have to answer him in English. He's very, very disciplinarian, my father. How about you, Cesar? How are you?
I think my dad, I always remember him because of my last name. Uh, I looked at my relatives and I said, why is your last name different from my last name? Because their last name is Lobinto, Lobinto. And I said, why is it that we're Elpidios and you're my uncle? We're all relatives. And he says, well, and so I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how come they have a different last name and we're all cousins? And he said, well, maybe, because during the war, when I was in the guerrilla, they could not spell my last name. So they just gave me the name Elpidio because of Elpidio Carino. So from then on, he took the name Elpidio. So he made Lobinto his real last name, the middle name. So what happened was Elpidio became our last name. So I said, so no wonder I could not find any other relatives, in the community, because it's Elpidio is a first name, right?
Yeah.
It's like Jose, Jaime Jose, something like that. So now I remembered, and that's the most fondest memory that I have with my dad for changing our last name.
Caesar, can you just do that? Can you just change your last name?
Yeah, because in my schooling, right, in my birth certificate, it was Elpidio. So I never knew that. And then the only time I questioned this is because my cousins all had different last names, and I said, why is your last name different from mine? When your father and my father are brothers, and so that's what happened. So it's this World War II guerrilla time for my dad. So that was. My kids kind of laugh every time I tell the story, but that's the reason why I have the name Elpidio.
Yeah. And Josie, my dad gave me my name because he used to work for an American firm in the Philippines. They used to make billboards. That was in the 50s and the 60s. They used to make billboards, and his boss was Mr. Andrews. That's why even my dad was like Filipino, but he could speak English very well. Why? Because he had an American boss, and you think, he was so proud, and they were doing all these things. So when I'm the eldest, and when I was born, they asked him, "What name do you want to give your daughter?" And he said, "I want to name her Vicky. It's not even Victoria; it's Vicky." And my mom was saying, "Why?" Because I have a crush on the daughter of my boss, and her name is Vicky Andrews. That's where I got my name from, Vicky Victoria, from my dad, who has
I like Victoria.
crush on his boss's daughter.
Oh,
Thank you.
I was about at this time. I would like you to guys to look at your Facebook and read those people that send us messages. But Facebook is not on. I don't think you can turn on the
I
Facebook.
can see Facebook,
Yeah, you see the messages.
but I have a problem with the
Yeah,
audio. Yeah, I can see Ruel. He's live now.
Mhm.
Ruel,
Is watching us.
Leyur.
I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any.
Oh,
In
I
Facebook.
think Charlotte is trying to get in.
So go to his
She's
page.
asking for the meeting number.
Oh, Charlotte. I mean Charlotte. Yeah, Caesar. Can you read some of the people that are
Josie, look at it.
Yeah, I have.
It's in Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't have.
I have William, Maria.
Blank. Mine is blank. Yeah, go ahead, Caesar. If you can read those people that are
Yes.
saying hi.
Raquel Chua, Gidget de Guzman Ramos. Thank you very much. Hey, Persis is watching.
Oh, good.
Alex Pena is watching.
Oh, good.
And Susan Guevara. Thank you. John Paul David is watching. Thank you, John. We have Marianne Gilbert. Thank you.
Oh, my beautiful friend, Sharon Tanyag.
Yes,
Beautiful Sharon.
And we're going to make her sing in our program one of these days. Susan Guevara.
Oh, good.
Let's see here. Victoria Tambunting. Yeah, you're
I'm
watching.
here.
And Christy.
Watching.
Christy Sampal is watching. That's great.
Hi, Chris.
We have our Filipino friends here. Yeah,
Oh,
let's see
good.
here. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully
Wait,
you'll
we're
watch
done?
us again.
We're done?
No, we're not
No,
done.
I'm just thinking. I'm just
Why
thinking.
Sharon is on
don't we
the
invite
phone.
Charlotte? Why don't we invite Charlotte?
Oh, not
in?
Sharon. Sorry. Charlotte. Is on
No,
the phone.
we might have, if she can come in, she can, but we don't have time to
Yeah, that's
wait
right.
for that. Actually, we love you, Charlotte. We missed you.
So let me see.
With all your updates, Dolly, I would like to share also the confirmed cases here in Nevada. We have like 10,678. The deaths are 462. In New York, the confirmed people that are sick there is 384,000, and deaths are 24,579. In California, confirmed we have 151,000, and deaths is 5,089. So
Wow.
it's sad to hear those numbers.
Yeah.
It's still hard. Do you have any guests now that you can read, Vicky? No, she cannot hear us. But anyways, for all the listeners, we were having problems. I think there was an outage of the T-Mobile cellular services, and it's global. It's really affecting I think, around the world, if you say global. So, we are fortunate to have a program right now, and we missed Charlotte, and she probably had difficulties signing in. And I think we have a good show right now, and it's the start, and we would like to invite them again every Monday, and Caesar, you are teaching, so you will not be able to be with
Yes,
us.
there might be some. Yeah, but I'll be here. If I'm not teaching, I'll be here.
You'll be here. Okay. So, Vicky, do you have any more friends that no?
At the moment, no, because I'm having problems.
You do have to.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, our station hotline is 702-613-6433. To all our listeners, if you want to call that number, you can leave a message on that number, and we can read that next week. I hope we don't have any more problem with our connections. So 702-613-6433. And this is the start, the very start of our forum, open forum. This is a platform that we would like to provide just about everyone in Vegas. You can call us. We are your social media connection. And for all the candidates that we have, you could be a Democrat, you can be a Republican. Please give us a call. If you want to guest our show, we will gladly invite you. And then you can use our program to share your platform to the voters of Nevada. That is the service that we would like to offer you. And anybody, if you have a business, your business is not doing good, come and visit us and we will help you. This is an open forum. Anything could happen, and we would like to be of service to any one of you here in Nevada. And so they can call, right? They can also call. And if they want to join our conversation, that hotline number 702-613-6433, that is a line whereby they can type there, I want to be live. I want to join the forum. You know,
Well, next time, Josie, can we just print the numbers on the screen so people can see it?
I think if I'm not mistaken, we have that too. I think Johan, we have that on the screen too.
I didn't see it. It's
Yeah.
not there.
It is in our, the posters. If you read our posters,
Oh, okay. Yes.
you can see the numbers and you can see all the links that we have so that they can join us. They can join us through that number, through Facebook, through Spotify, Google Plus. We can have the YouTube, and they are simultaneously. So we are on live streaming, and we are also live streaming on those links. So remember that this is a big PHLV radio. We're trying to reach just as many people as we can to be our listeners. We are closing. We are nearing our closing time. Caesars, we have about 3 minutes. Please be cognizant of our time. Please say something to all our listeners.
Yes. And by the way, this is our first show, and we would really like your feedback in terms of topics. If you'd like us to talk about something that is very important to you, let us know by calling that number that Josie just indicated. And what we would like to do is talk about things that you folks would like to hear.
Okay, go ahead.
We can add some of our opinions. And again, this is not a political organization. I mean, we welcome everybody, and we just want to talk. Yeah.
And this is a community outreach.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dolly, say something.
Well, thank you so much for hearing and or watching us. And we hope that this is not the first time that you'll be with us. And you will be with us for the many Mondays to come. We are here, like everybody says, that this is a show for you. And like our main host, Josie Harrison, had said, come in and join us and be a part of this program. Thank you. Good night. God bless.
Go ahead, Vicky.
Okay, so guys, I had a great time. So thank you very much for giving us the time to listen, to watch us, to put it in Facebook. So what I would like to ask you guys is, please, if you have events, let me know so that we can plug your events, we can talk about it, we can do a post-mortem and invite other people to go. So let me know. I really like community events. I really like people helping people. I like charity events. And just let us know. Let's say, oh, and I want to say congratulations to my friends who have won. And those who did not, there's a good reason for it. So it's just timing. In the meantime, thank you, Josie. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you, Ceasar. And thank you, Johan. Charlotte, I know you're watching. So thank you so much, everybody. For this week, be good, be kind, pray, and love each other. Love you.
Let's all greet all the fathers.
Yes.
Happy
Thank you.
Father's Day.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day to all.
Yes. Happy Father's Day to all. And for our listeners, please come back Monday. We will be here. And again, this open forum with Josie Harrison, Ceasar Elpidio, Charlotte Evans, Dolly De Leon, and Vicky Tambunting. Bye. See you.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Good night. God bless.